The Gilded Ones by Nomina Forna. Chapter 10. In less than an hour, I'm clean and clothed in scratchy green robes and leather sandals. I'm also as bald as all the other girls subjected to the assistant's razors. If I ever had any doubts about my new status, they were erased the moment my hair was tossed into the furnace like it was nothing. The infinite wisdoms state that a woman's hair is her greatest pride, the source of her grace and beauty. Now, none of the girls here has any. As of this moment, I'm truly nothing more than a demon. My last claim to femininity stripped away. The realization roils inside me. A nausea that builds as the matrons and their assistants usher us down the building's Warren-like corridors into a massive central hall. A line of girls is waiting there, each one clothed in leather armor and bearing wooden swords. Like ours, their hair was shaven clean, but it's regrown to nape length for the most. I suppose that means they've been here for a few months, at least. These must be the girls who were sent here before us, the older Alaki. At the very front stands a trio of unmasked women, the red and gold banner of the Warthu bearer rising proudly behind them. My eyes are immediately drawn to the woman in the middle. She has dark brown skin, powerfully muscled arms, and a stern, unflinching gaze. Most striking of all is the bright red clay that daubs the intricate braids coiled around her head. It's immediately familiar, as is the woman's silhouette. It's the silent commander from Jor Hall. It's her. Only now she's unmasked and wearing green robes, a large golden pin at her shoulder. On it is the eclipse symbol from the archway. Where have I seen it before? The question niggles at me. I have to force myself not to look down when she steps forward and raises her hand in salute. Around me, other girls do the same, pained expressions in their eyes. This is probably the first time they're seeing so many unmasked women, too. Hail, our honored Alaki neophytes, the stern woman calls out. Hail, our honored Alaki neophytes, the stern woman calls out. Hail, the armored girls echo her, their voices a single powerful entity. Chills rush through me at the sound. The stern woman continues talking, her booming voice echoing throughout the hall. On behalf of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Gizo V, honored sovereign and ruler of the One Kingdom, our beloved Otera, I bid you welcome to the Warthu bearer. Welcome, the armored girls repeat. I am Karmoko Thandawe, the woman says, head instructor of the Warthu bearer, the glorious training house in which you stand. Refer to me with any other title or mispronounce my name, and I will cut out your tongue for your insolence and put it in a jar to keep me company. At her words, the atmosphere chills and girls look at each other frightened. I silently try to sear her name's pronunciation to my memory. Thandawe. Thandawe. Karmoko Thandawe continues her speech. To my left is Karmoko Calderis. She motions, and a brunette of almost bear-like proportions lumber forward and examines us with a single bright blue eye, not covered by a leather eye patch. The eclipse pin gleams at her shoulder as well. She will serve as your weapons master in the coming months. Karmoko Thandawe motions again, and Karmoko Calderis steps back with a curt nod. To my right is Karmoko Huan, Karmoko Thandawe says. A small, kind-looking woman with pale skin and dark eyes step forward. Her black hair cascades like a river down her back, tiny, jeweled flowers adorning it. She doesn't seem like a warrior at all, and her gentle smile as she nods at us only reinforces this impression. She also wears the eclipse pin, and when she absently strokes her fingers over it, my heart beats faster, though I do not know why. She will serve as your combat master, Kameko Tandue says. The kind-looking woman steps back, her dark eyes glancing almost tentatively over us. Again, I silently wonder how this woman was chosen to become our combat master. She's like a butterfly, so delicate and beautiful you could crush her if you weren't careful. Kameko Tandue continues. From now until the time you leave the Wardubera, we, your Karmokos, your teachers, will serve as your guides. Each of us standing before you has served as a shadow, the deadliest of His Imperial Majesty's assassins. We have all earned notable places in the Heraldry of Shadows, the book that lists the exploits of our kind. The book that sits here in the famed Wardubera, the House of Women. We are proud to have been trained within these very walls, and are even prouder to give you the same honor. From now until you leave this training ground, you will work harder and feel more pain than you have ever felt in your life, until we mold you from the weak, useless girls that you are into warriors, defenders of Otera. Conquer or die, this is our motto here. My eyebrows gather. Warriors? Defenders? Are the Karmokos certain that they're talking about us? I peer at Kameko Juan again, trying to imagine her as a deadly assassin. If she of all people can be a warrior, perhaps the same is possible for her. Something is coming. The unwelcome premonition tingles under my skin and I stiffen. Britta, I rasp, my breathing shallow as I turn to my friend. Does she feel it too? Heightened awareness? Panic crawling up her spine? Do the other girls? They all seem calm, but they have no idea what's about to happen. I remember all too keenly what happened at the village the last time I felt this way. The blood, the fear, the bodies littering the snow. What is it? Britta whispers back. Death shrieks, I whisper. They're here. What do you mean here? As Britta glances around, panicked. Kameko Tandue walks towards us, her eyes stern. You have all heard of death shrieks, yes? Around me, the girls nod their heads. Have any of you encountered them before? When the girls nod timidly again, Kameko Tandue bellows, Open your mouths and use your tongues. The correct response is yes, Kameko. I nearly jump out of my skin. Her voice is so powerful. I've never heard a woman speak like that. Never heard such an authority coming from a female throat. My heart beats even faster as I reply along with the others. Yes, Kameko, I rasp, my throat raw. Louder! Yes, Kameko. Better, she nods. She glances at the girls who raise their hands. Consider yourselves most fortunate to have encountered such monstrosities and survived. For the rest of you, allow me to even the score. Even the score? What score? Kameko Tandue gestures, and the other girls march towards us, footsteps ready and sure. Step back, neophytes. The one at the front, a short, slim girl with black hair and light brown skin of the mid-eastern provinces, call. She has a jagged scar all the way down the side of her cheek. Old, but harshly puckered. I wince at the sight. It's probably from the time before she became an Alaki. Move back! Move back! She shouts. I hurriedly do as I'm told, shuffling backward until soon I'm at the very edges of the room with the other neophytes. The older girls spread into a single line before us, a barrier, keeping us firmly in place. By now, my palms are sweating, and my heart is beating so fast it feels like it'll leap out of my chest. They can't really mean to bring death streaks here, can they? I thought Captain Kalecki said we would encounter those on raids. What if those monsters escape, attack us the way the ones in Erfurt did? What if I react the same way I did before? My eyes changing color, that demonic voice emerging from my throat? I whimper. The thought of everyone witnessing is almost too much to bear. Who knows what those Karmokos would do to someone like me, someone with abilities beyond what is common for an ordinary Alaki. I swallow back the thought as Karmoko Thandawe gestures to Matron Nazra, and the matron presses a small circular metal structure in the wall. A low rumbling rises as the floor slides apart, revealing a dark subterranean cave. A stone staircase leading to a group of iron cages arranged in its center. Muffled, inhuman grunts sound from those cages, mist clouding around them. My entire body stills. My fears now confirmed. There are death shrieks underneath the Warthubera, and the Karmokos intend to bring them up. The scarred girl walks with a group of other girls down the stairs, heading toward the largest cage, where an ominous sound rises, the rattling of chains. Sharp, predatory black eyes gleam inside the cage, the outline of a gaunt, gigantic, barely visible in the shadows. A death shriek. Chains binding it, my heart hammers, teeth clench, sweat pours rivers down my back. Britta shifts closer to me. "It's all right, Deka," she whispers. "I'm right here." I nod, inhaling deeply for courage as I return to my attention to what's happening in the cavern below. The death shriek still hasn't come out, and the scarred girl is getting impatient. "Get it out," she commands the others. They quickly do as they're told. A tall, dark-skinned girl darting forward and opening the cage door while the others wait, swords drawn. Strangely, the death shrieks makes no movement. What is it doing? Why is it just standing there? My muscles grow taut from the tension. Finally, the scarred girl has had enough. She darts inside the cage, tugs at one of the death shriek's chains. With a muffled howl of outrage, the death shriek lunges for her, the quills in his pale silver fur a whirlwind of motion, black eyes slitted with fury, but the scarred girl and the others don't jerk back or flee. Instead, they grab its chains, then use inhuman strength to force it up the stairs until it's just before Karmoko Thandawe, who casually flips it to the ground, then slams her foot into its throat, pressing harder and harder until it slumps unconscious. Astonishment has taken me by the throat. So it's some minutes before I remember how close that death shriek is. Remember what can happen when I'm in the presence of one. I turn to Britta, alarmed. "Is there anything wrong with my eyes?" I ask. She peers down at me and frowns. "No? Is there supposed to be?" Relief courses through my veins. I shake my head and face forward again, just as Karmoko Thandawe removes her foot and points to the unconscious death shriek. "This is a death shriek. The enemy that is now invading the One Kingdom," she states. "Your natural enemy. All across Otera, death shrieks hunt your kind. But here in the Warthubera, you will learn how to withstand them, their cries, their infernal strength, and speed. You will learn how to transform from the hunted to the hunter, how to train harder, more ruthlessly, until you have become the best, the most fearsome warriors in all of the Emperor's Alaki regiment. Then, when you have served the Emperor for 20 years each, you will be rewarded with the rite of purification, a sacred ceremony by the high priest to cleanse you of your demonic blood." She looks across the room now, her eyes pinning each and every one of us in place as she declares, "You will be pure again." Pure. Breath catches in my throat. The next 20 years can't pass quickly enough. Around me, whispers sound, exclamations of joy and relief. "Did you hear that?" a girl near me says, gaping. Katya, I think her name is. She's the one from the line of the wagons. Red hair so bright, it looks like fire springing from her head. Now she's bald as the rest of us, even her eyebrows shorn from her face. We're going to be pure. Truly pure, she exclaims. She looks almost as excited as I feel, even though Karmoko Thandwe has just repeated the same sentiments Captain Aleki did. Something about her delivery set a fire in me. Or perhaps it's the fact that it's a woman who said them. Not everyone is as impressed, however. Adwapa manages to somehow seem bored as she murmurs, "Well, that's a relief." Being already bald, she was spared the indignity of the shaving. But her sister, Asha's head, now also gleams when she nods in agreement beside her. Karmoko Thandwe holds up her hand for silence, and the hall waits. "Look to your left," she commands. We quickly obey. "Now to your right." Again, we obey her words. "Standing on either side of you are your sisters, both in blood and in arms. Blood sisters. They will live and die with you on the battlefield. They are your family now. Is this understood?" It takes me a moment to realize she means for us to answer. "Yes, Karmoko Thandwe," I reply, joining the chorus of voices. "Now look to your elder blood sisters, the novices." She points to the armored girls. "From now on, you will refer to them as honored elder blood sister. They have been here for a year now. They will show you the way." As we nod, she turns to face us once again. "I would have you understand one thing. Of all the thousands of Alaki who have come here to Hemira, you are the most talented, the fastest, the strongest, the most deadly. Most of you were noted by your village elders before you underwent the ritual, or as you tried futilely to escape your fates. You all showed promise. Strength, cunning, resilience, much more than the average Alaki. That is why you were chosen." I suddenly remember Britta telling me how she was so strong that she could lift a cow. Remember White Hands marveling at all the times I've died and been resurrected. "Remember this well," she warns, "because you are here for one purpose and one purpose only. In 10 months precisely, the Emperor will go on the campaign against the Death Shrieks, and he has chosen the Alaki who will lead the charge." She glances around the room, her eyes deadly serious. "You will be at the forefront of your Emperor's armies," she declares. "You will ride into battle and fight for the glory of Otera. You will win the war against the Death Shrieks, or you will die trying, however many times that may take." And that's chapter 10. Yo, I hope y'all are enjoying this as much as I am. Things are cranking up. And yeah, just look forward to the next couple of days. You'll be getting chapter 11 and chapter 12. Till then, keep it easy. Peace.